Good afternoon. I'm just having so much fun. I'm enjoying the day. It's a beautiful day, a beautiful breeze, cool and dry. And I thought I'd come out. I wanted to start a video. I'm not going to be able to really finish this one the way I want to. I got some things I need to tend to, but I'm going to use this video as a prelude to tomorrow's video, which I hope to film, where I'm going to demonstrate some pruning, which I need to do. And help me! This is a cry for help because I'm in a little bit of deep water with Debbie, which I will explain in 1 second. The trees are become overgrown. Oh, we got some dogs out here. My neighbor's dogs, a little unruly sometimes, but Debbie feels there's a beautiful little Smith tree that's been growing so nicely. It overwintered perfectly. The Ronde Bordeaux there, not so much. I'll talk about that. I'm not having good luck with Ronde Bordeaux here on this property. Even though it's warmer than my Jersey property, it's a warmer zone, I'm having trouble. It's not the warmth though, it's nematodes. It's not the cold, I should say. It's nematodes. There's a few new additions that I can talk to you about secretly, not right now. I wanted to talk about, but you can see it's almost like the invasion of the body snatchers. I'm just being overtaken by fig trees, and Debbie's starting to, she wants me to cut them down. The big ones, all the way down, which I've done many times, I've talked about in the past. It gets that way. That's how you keep them small sometimes, radical pruning. In this case, we're talking about the guillotine. We're talking about chopping them off right at the, really, I don't know what you would call it, because we're talking about taking them down to the ground. I offered Debbie, and I am being overtaken here. I mean, they're getting so huge. And I've had to do it many times in the past. I've shown you where some of these trunks are a foot in diameter. My Peter's honey in particularly. And they've been here for over a quarter century. 4 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or so. 6 or so of them. And I've been cutting them down every 3, 4, 5 years. And I've offered to cut this one. This is my Ira Condit's Excel. And you can see it's marvelous. I've got this in other videos if you want to look back at them. Oldies but goodies. I feature this tree almost exclusively. But look at all the figs. It's a wonderful fig and very tasty and delicious. A lot like Peter's honey, but better. I mean, not as good. Sorry, not as good, but really, really good. Don't misread that. Like a bit like Cadota, but again, Cadota is not as good as Peter's honey, in my opinion, for all around growing in my zones. But you can see how prolific it is. It's just unbelievably productive. And it's such a healthy tree. It's been here such a long, long time. I offered to take it down right to here. Right down to here. Look, cut all of that upper tree off right there. Can you see? And I think she's going to buy it. Then she felt bad and said, well, you can leave it. Just cut some of the upper branches off. But I know she wants me to cut it down and then just let those lower branches, can you see them? Let them grow and come back up. And I've got so many figs, honestly. I'm not boasting, but you see my videos. I've got thousands of figs, thousands. And that is no exaggeration. Count them. Look at this hardy Chicago. Look at this hardy Chicago. It's huge. It's gigantic. And everywhere you look, on every single branch, look at it. there's just branches everywhere. You just saw the video that I filmed back in New Jersey, which was the first walkthrough for the season of 2024 of my front and side orchard. There are thousands of figs just there. But look at these. I mean, they're just everywhere. We can walk a little further. There's my uncle's Valle San Juan, the Adriatic fig there, and it has plenty of figs growing on it. Here's another Celeste, and everywhere you look on this Celeste, this is just a couple years old, and it's just filled with, just loaded. I've been starting to prune, but it's not enough. So Debbie's a little angry, so I need your help. What should I do? I don't want to really cut down my fig trees. I never do, but I don't want to be in hot water either. So I think it's time for me to just simply capitulate, I think. Here's another Ronde Bordeaux that I'm having trouble with. And I'm not having trouble in 7A, which is colder, but I am having trouble here at 7B because the soil is a little sandier and there's the root knot nematode, and I've dug down around in the roots and I see that they're being attacked. Different varieties are more susceptible to root knot nematode. And unfortunately, and it breaks my heart, I have 3 Ronde Bordeaux here. I've been trying for the last few years to really get it established, and I just can't get it. I can't get it to really take off. Like this Hardy Chicago, which is essentially, I'd say immune to root knot, because it's been here for over a quarter, about 28 or 9 years, maybe 30. Okay, I've been in this place here for 33 years, and I had 6 fig trees from the beginning. It could go back even more than that. Some of these trees go back more than that. And some of the trees I had back then are gone. And Debbie made me take them out, or I took them out because they were overtaking the house. I had a giant Mission. I had a giant Canadria. I had a giant Flanders, Iracondens Flanders, a hybrid. They were all 20, 25 foot tall. I had to take them out in past years. Here we are. I have another Celeste tree, and it's a beautifully contained tree. It's old. If you go around the back, you can see where, see the trunk down there where it's been cut off, where it was 6 or 7 inches across, or 8. Well, that's happened many times. This has been here since this might have been one of the first trees I put in when I bought this place 33 years ago. I can't tell you. I don't really remember. But look at all the figs on this thing. It's properly contained, which isn't easy. I have to work at it. The deer came along here. I have a lot of deer. I train them so that they're taller, so that the deer can't get them. It takes a little while. But you can see the buck rub down there a couple years ago. The buck came and almost killed that section. But it came back, and it's just doing marvelously. I've got figs all over the place. So what do I do? Look at this. Here's my magnificent Desert King, and it's just so beautiful. Oh, I just had a mosquito try to get me. And so I guess what I'm saying, and if you watch, if I can get the video made tomorrow, which I intend to do, I would like to show you before and after I start to prune, because I'm going to take out all of this stuff on the bottom. I'm going to clean this up. This branch is coming off. That big branch over there, I'm pointing right at it right now, that big branch that's leaning up against the deck, that whole thing is going to be cut out of there. And that probably long one right there is probably going to be cut out too. I'm just going to reduce it. And I've got a lot of figs I have to worry about. I've got a lot of Breba, because Desert King, that's what it does. It produces a lot of Breba right around the 4th of July. So I'm going to have to be careful, but I'm going to have to sacrifice some of them because I think Debbie has a legitimate point. She wants me to control these figs, and they're really getting out of control. I mean, they just are. Everybody should have that problem, don't you think? You know, that I have too many figs, let me cut them down. I mean, it's almost crazy to even think about it. It's absurd, but it's not, because I do have a lot of figs. I have been successful in growing them. in all of my properties. And it is time to try to take some extra measures to control their growth. I have to do it. I'm not going to take that one to the ground because remember, San Pedro's, they yield fruit, Breba fruit, on last year's wood. I have to be careful in how I prune that. But eventually, I've taken that one down too. I've taken it completely down to the ground several times, and I will have to do it again. But I'm not going to do that this year for that. At least I won't until after the harvest, which is coming very soon. I don't know what it is right now, June 17th, something like that. Okay, so I think I'll end this video. Some more figs, Italian honey, Latarula, Italian honey, unknown Taramo. But these aren't the problem. These are younger trees that I started a couple years ago. But that's the problem. Can you see the problem? Let me get back here. So Debbie has a legitimate point. And she's a little bit irate about it and insistent that I do something. I mean, imagine another year what these are, if I don't get them under control. I mean, again, everybody should have this problem. You know, figs, and more figs. So tomorrow I am going to start. She wants me to take this tree out completely. She just wants to open up the house a little bit. And so I might be doing that. I might be taking that out. That's Feliciano Bianco. And I have it home. And so I don't really want to take it down. There's a story that goes with that tree too. But I can see her point, and so I might just be taking it to the ground soon. There's some Breba on it, and so I don't want to do it yet until after I eat up the Breba figs up there. But I think I might cave in it and do it. I won't take this Heart of Chicago. Whew, it would be a massive undertaking to even attempt it. But I am beginning to prune it, as you can see. It looks like I already took a chip out of it, out of the Rock of Gibraltar. So, but I think I'm going to cut it down somewhat and prune it pretty radically tomorrow. We'll see. And this, I don't know. I don't know if I'll take it down halfway or take that whole large trunk out or the whole tree out and just let the little shoots that have come up in recent years, let them take its place. I could tie them together and start to structure them and scaffold them so they'll provide me with some privacy here. I like having a little privacy on the side porch here. And it gives me plenty of privacy now. But again, if I keep letting them grow and grow and grow, I'm going to be in trouble. And I want to make room for this Valle San Juan. I want that tree. It's a very special tree to me. I want that to grow. And this special Celeste tree. And that's a special tree that we'll talk about next time, but not this time. Got to keep that one a secret. That's a recent entry. Can you tell? And got a little Ronde Bordeaux here that the deer keep eating, but it's not the deer so much. The deer are eating it. And I had a wire cage around this, and this is Smith, and it is just doing it. This tree is going to be, it's just going to be successful in the ground. Smith in 7B. I am so excited about it because as you can just tell, this tree is, and it seems to be resistant to nematodes. Happily so. So I'm looking for good things, and I'll keep you apprised. So with that, help me out. I need some advice. Thank you for visiting. You know I enjoy your visits. I'm really having a wonderful time here. I've been just taking in the weather and the wind and the smell of the ocean. I've just been enjoying myself so much, and my figs. But I've got a little problem that I've got to work out. That happens from time to time. Figs aren't always fun, so sometimes work. And sometimes we have to take drastic measures to control our orchard. So with that, good day.